Today, we're talking about the 2024 Ford F-150, specifically the Roush package. And I'm going to tell you everything you need to know in this video about what to and what not to order if you're interested in one of these trucks. So let's go ahead and jump straight into my screen share. So let's go ahead and take a look at all of the options, configurations, colors, and just everything there is to know about how you can configure this vehicle for yourself. Now, the first thing I want to talk about are the colors themselves, and specifically underneath what trim level. So the Roush F-150, if you've seen our other video that's doing really well, by the way, appreciate everybody that has watched that video, but we've got 3 trim levels available: the STX, the XLT, and the Lariat. And as you can see on this page, that every single one of these vehicles requires the black appearance package, regardless of the trim level you select. But if you get the STX, you get the agate black. Is it agate? Agate? I don't know. Comment down below. How do you pronounce that? Because I really don't know. Avalanche, which is a beautiful color. Carbonized gray, iconic silver, Oxford white, and then rapid red. If you step up to the XLT, you get those same exact colors. Those are available to you. But you also pick up the ability to go with antimatter blue, which is also a beautiful color. If you step all the way up to the Lariat, that's when you get the ability to get every one of those previously mentioned colors. Plus, you also get star white as an option. So that's kind of nice. Now, the next thing, this is going to be very interesting. Before we even go over all of those situations, let's talk about how Roush is ordering the chassis. A lot of people don't realize this. Roush is converting this package very similar to how Tuscany upfits the Shelby F-150, or how you have Fox Factory upfits the Black Widow truck. What do you get specifically from the Ford factory on these vehicles? Now, you could technically place a custom order and have them spec it a very specific way, but that's not how most of these things are done. Most of them, Roush orders the vehicles a while ago. They show up from Ford in Livonia, Michigan. Roush takes it, adds their package, then they send it to the dealer. So how are they ordering most of their vehicles automatically? Well, I've got a spec sheet for you right here. So the very first thing, this one happens to be the XTX as an option. And so the way that they're ordering most of these vehicles would be an F-150 four-wheel drive. Every one of them has to be that. And then the STX for this specific one. I'm going to cover XLT here in just a second. And I don't know if we've got any Lariats based today, but we'll talk about that in a second. This particular one has the rapid red color option, which from the factory is a $495 upcharge. In addition to that, it's got the 5.0 engine. Every single one of these Roushes is going to have the 5.0 V8 engine in it because America. You also get the 373 Max trailer tow rear axle that comes with an electronic locking rear differential. So that's kind of nice as well. STX appearance package for $1,585, and then you've also got the mobile office package, then the tow haul package, lots of different options on this specific STX. Now, you might be wondering, like, Mitchell, why in the world have you got the MSRP and invoice showing? Well, the reason is because our dealership, Town & Country Ford in Bessemer in Pell City, Alabama, is taking all of these Roush F-150 orders at invoice pricing. So that's the reason I have no problem with showing you what the actual invoice of the chassis is. So what you're looking at is a top sticker of $59,645. There's an equipment group savings of $2,000. Basically, the way that this vehicle was ordered, because we ordered it with this package, you get a $2,000 STX discount, which means that the new bottom sticker would be $57,645. But the invoice for that exact same vehicle would be $55,113. And the beautiful thing is, all you'd have to do is basically add the actual Roush package to the MSRP, or really to the invoice pricing of the vehicle itself. So in this particular situation, you would take the $55,113 and you would add the $28,235, making the grand total for this particular vehicle $83,348. It sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but you're getting a lot for that particular vehicle. I don't know if I've talked about this publicly, but when we were filming the video of this Roush F-150, there was a Lariat sitting right next to the STX, and my videographer was making fun of me because I kept mixing up the STX and the Lariat. That's how wild this is. But what do you get for the Roush package at $28,235? Because I think that's important to know. So let's go back to this Roush package and let's just talk about what it comes standard equipment. So the very first thing, we get the Roush High Performance High Flow Grill. You get the painted fender flares with the accent lighting. That accent lighting is what makes the thing be FMVSS certification, because the vehicle is a little bit wider than normal F-150, which if you're any wider than the normal F-150, you're automatically too wide unless you have those marker lights. You have the Roush hood and heat extractors. You know what? Let's talk about the fender flares again for a second. Those are painted fender flares, but there are a few colors that they exclude on the painting. Like antimatter blue is a very difficult color to paint match, and it's almost impossible to paint match it. And so they've gone with 90% of the colors are going to be paint matched, but you have a couple of them, such as antimatter blue, which are not going to be paint matched. But you have the Roush hood heat extractors, the front bumper cover with the integrated light bar. That's that amber light in the cover. You just pull it off. It's a really trick little setup. The Roush Performance coilover system, which is brand new for 2024. I know the old body style had a Fox coilover system, and apparently they've upgraded it to their own proprietary Roush coilover setup, which is really neat. General grabber tires. These are the ATX all-terrains. They're 33 inches tall and I believe 12 and a half inches wide. You've got the Roush Performance active exhaust system. It's standard equipment on every single one of these. In the past, that was not included at all with the MSRP of the vehicle. That was an optional upgrade. Now Roush is giving it to you out of the gate, no matter what, on all of these. So yes, this is not a cheap package, but holy smokes, you're getting a lot for it. You've got the Roush laser. Okay. You got the Roush laser etched dual exhaust tips, depending on how your vehicle is equipped. So if you go back to the video that we made walking around the truck, you'll notice that some of those vehicles from the Ford factory actually have dual exit rear exhaust. Those exhaust tips are going to remain the same. They didn't feel like there was enough need to update the tips because you couldn't really tell if it was a Roush tip or not, because they're kind of tucked up underneath it. But if it doesn't have that, then yes, they're upgrading the tips as well. But the exhaust system itself is actually upgraded, and it is active to make sure that it's louder and quieter depending on how you want to do it. Roush aluminum pedal covers for your gas and your brake pedal. And you also have a graphics package, which comes with hood graphics, the Jack Roush signature graphic, the door graphics, and then also the USA flag graphics. In addition to that, you've also got the off-road lighting system for the front and the rear. Specifically in the rear, we've got those cube lights that are mounted into the rear bumper. And then you've also got the integrated overhead auxiliary switch panel, which is one of my favorite things about that truck. I love the fact that they're including that in every single one of these, because they not only do you have the ability to have the active exhaust mounted up there, but you also get one extra pre-wired setup, just like you do on the Bronco. So that way, if you wanted to add something this or add something that, the wires already ran for you. We've got the Roush carbon fiber interior trim package, the Roush serialized dash badge. We've got the tailgate and fender extractor badges, custom molded floor liners. I believe these are WeatherTech floor mats with Roush branding on there, which they look fantastic. Roush R key fobs. Got a hitch cover, and then we've also got, this is another thing that we didn't really talk about in the previous video. You get a really nice puddle lamp on the XLTs and the Lariats, where when you open the door, you've got that cool R emblem that's actually projected onto the floor below you. And what's neat about it is it's not just the R, but the entire thing lights up. And then you have the actual logo itself is even brighter. So you've got a really nice setup at night. You can still see, get in and out of the vehicle, all that kind of stuff. And then you've also got an official certificate of authenticity. Now, there is a couple of options that you can select on all of these Roush models. The first one is going to be the premium leather package. $19.95 for leather, in my opinion, is actually a great deal. That's right alongside what we would pay if I would have somebody slap a set of catskin leather, aftermarket leather seats in them. You get a really nice upgraded coffee brown and black two-tone leather that you see right there on the screen. In addition to that, you've also got the audio system by Alpine. I think I mentioned to you in that previous video that when I first saw this page and I saw $2,100, I about swallowed my tongue. I was like, there ain't no way this thing is worth $2,100. It is. Just order that option. Order that option, or find someone that's got that option already included. It is night and day better than anything I've ever seen, including the B&O Unleashed audio system. The Roush Ready package comes with a console vault where you can lock it away your firearm or just any kind of valuables. You also get a utility kit and a jump starter for $875. Then you also have an upgraded Roush bedside graphic. Not my favorite in the world. I really like the Roush on the door and I like the flag in the back, but to each is your own. You've got that as an option for $595 upgrade. And then you've also got the Roush off-road ditch lights with covers, and those lights are actually made by Diode Dynamics. For $495, when you factor in the labor to actually run those wires, not a bad deal there as well. So yeah, $25,150 is your base MSRP for the standard equipment, and then you can see all of those optional equipment components that we just covered. So now you're probably thinking, okay, well, what about the XLT specifically? What options do you get from the Ford factory? We've already kind of covered the Roush components. They're pretty much the same across the board. But from the factory, let's talk about the equipment. So an F-150 four-wheel drive Super Crew XLT, the 145-inch wheelbase, that is the tried and true Super Crew with the short box, 5.5-foot box. Iconic silver is this particular truck, which, by the way, I don't know if you see this, but every one of these are ones that we have on order right now coming to our dealership. So we've got a ton of inventory coming, and if you want to have one that's custom built for you, once again, just give us a call. We'll be happy to honor the invoice pricing. All you got to do is add the cost of the package back to it and call it a day. We believe that trucks are too expensive now, and so we feel like it's the right thing to do just to honor invoice pricing on these particular trucks. Let's jump back into this XLT, and hopefully I can find, there we go. This trying to, about lost my place. So once again, this is an XLT black appearance package, which comes with black leather seats from the factory. This is a 303A equipment group, which, if you don't know, you have 3 different PEP codes is what Ford calls it, or they could also be considered equipment groups. So a 301A equipment group, no, I'm not flicking you off, don't worry. 301A equipment group is the lowest trim level of an XLT that you can get. Then above that, you have the XLT 302A, which is just a little bit more equipment, and then the 303. So this is, by all definition, the closest thing you can get to a Lariat truck without having to pay, I say without having to pay Lariat truck money. This is still a $71,000 ride. It's still expensive, but you get a lot from the factory. Ford is going up and up and up and up and up on these prices, but they are also giving you more content to go with it. So not that I agree with the pricing going up. I don't like it, but everything's getting expensive, not just Fords. So that's just the world we live in today. All right. So once again, 303A equipment group comes with a ton of different things. In fact, I'm not even going to read them to you. I'm just going to list them right there on the screen so you can see what comes with that 303A, because it's not all listed on this window sticker. But the next thing, 5.0 V8 again, 3.73 max trailer tow axle with the electronic locking rear differential. You've got the XLT Black Appearance Package Plus, which comes with blacked out everything or color matched everything, depending on what component you're talking about. Twin panel moonroof. This is a good point. This is the first trim level, I believe, that you can get the twin panel moonroof in. I might be wrong, but I don't know that you can actually get the twin panel moonroof in the STX. So if that's an important thing to you, you got to step up to this XLT. One thing, Blue Cruise does have a 90-day trial included at no cost. So you obviously can have Blue Cruise and have a truck that's actually leveled through Roush Performance. So that's kind of nice. They apparently certify and guarantee and make sure that all the safety sensors in Blue Cruise works perfectly fine. So you also get tow haul mode. Next up, you got the tow haul package, as well as the bed utility package. By the way, this is where you get the tailgate step, among a couple of other things. But if you want the tailgate step, you have to get the bed utility package now for 24 model year. Wheel well liners in the rear, which really nice, especially on a silver vehicle or a white lighter vehicle. Those wheel well liners help complete the look of the vehicle in the back. Once again, we're looking at an MSRP of $72,510. There's a $2,000 equipment group savings for ordering that 303A equipment group, which brings your MSRP down to $70,510. You ordering this vehicle would have an invoice price of $65,822.68. And in this situation, you would just add the cost of the Roush package. This specific vehicle, because this one's actually on order right now, you've got the $25,475 for the MSRP of the Roush package. And then you just need to add the bedside graphics package, which I just got through telling you I was not the biggest fan of. But that's how we try and order a little bit of everything, so that way everybody's got something. You know, there's a, what was that old saying? There's a butt for every seat, except for they used a different word. So you've got the $595 bedside graphics option. You've got the Roush Ready package, which we've already covered what's included there. And then we've also got the upgraded ditch lights as well. So $27,440 plus the $65,822 invoice price gives you a grand total price of $93,262. Holy moly. But that's a whole lot better than what the MSRP of the vehicle is, which is nearly $98,000. So some significant savings to come right out of the gate. You'll notice in this video, I'm not covering the Lariats for a couple of different reasons. Number one reason is primarily going to be Roush doesn't have very many of these Lariats on order with Ford Motor Company. Word on the street is it's really hard to get a Lariat built right now. Something about there was a hold in the plant. They basically just kind of placed a stop shipment for whatever reason. Ford really won't tell us why or what, but that's one of the reasons that Roush is focused on the STX and the XLTs at this point in time. But if you want to order a Lariat, give us a call. We'll be happy to spec one out, but I don't have an example here because right now Roush is focused on those other two trims. Now let's take a closer look at exactly what you get for the package itself. So on Roush Performance's website, roushperformance.com, you can actually see all of the details of the new 24 F-150 Roush, and you can see kind of what this thing looks like. You can see that beautiful grille with the 3 amber lights located right there. You've got the white LED that's actually animated when you turn the truck on. That looks pretty sick. You can see the lower front valence where we've actually got the cover off of that front end. Something I don't think we've mentioned is going to be the red painted tow hooks that I think look great. It matches perfectly with the little bit of red that's located inside of the wheels. This particular one has got the stainless exhaust system already added to it since you've got two really decent options. This is going to be one of the versions. And then if your truck has got the rear exit exhaust like the Lariats do, then yes, you're going to have the rear exit exhaust that are black tip as well. But yeah, just another zoom in look there. This is one of the first looks at the actual suspension system, which is going to be compatible with Blue Cruise. This is Roush's proprietary setup, the coilover lift kit where it levels it in the front, and then you've got the upgraded shocks in the rear. You can see a closer look at the actual switches right here, the auxiliary switches, the carbon fiber, the seats, the two-tone seats, and then also you've got that upgraded option, which I think is the Roush Ready kit, I think is what they call it. The Alpine stereo system upgrade. You've got the backup lights in the rear bumper. You've got the center console here. Just a really, really nice looking truck. Yes, it's expensive, but then again, this is the primo of the primo. And that is pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video if you've made it all the way through. Once again, if you're interested in ordering one of these trucks at invoice pricing, we are happy and honored to put that in writing for you up front. Just give us a call. We'll work you through all of those very, very easy details. And keep in mind, we can also help you arrange the shipping to anywhere in the continental United States. Thank you so much for watching this video and have a great day. Peace.